Hi guys, this is Forgetful Scholar and let's chat about books. So this week is another disappointment. Let's see, Ghost Detective, which is kind of fun. And then Haunting, I guess. No, more like Venom-like? The comic book Venom-like? Okay, let me explain. So the first book is FM Historical Steampunk Paranormal um, Disappointment. Uh, Mission Improper. Beck McMasters. But let me. Okay, so Mission Improper London Steampunk The Blue Blood Conspiracy Book 1. I had the cover's gorgeous. He doesn't really strike me as like steampunky, but whatever. And yes, it's USA Today's best-selling author. I was really excited about this. I really wanted another FM writer that I could really dive into. In steampunk, I'm always looking for a good steampunk story, especially a good FM steampunk story. I feel like all the steampunk stories that I've enjoyed so far have been MM. I hope you could hear me over the air conditioning because it is like 100 today, so I'm not shutting it off. So I hope it's not bothering anybody. Anyway, so this is centered around Caleb and Ingrid. Now, this is a DNF. I will say that. This is about 450 pages, and I think around page 120, I was like, enough, I can't. And I'm really upset. I hate DNFs, and I'm really upset when I get them, and I try so hard not to get them. This is a very complicated world. I thought this was like the first that this author put out kind of in the steampunk world. I don't know if it is. I don't know if it's not. It did seem like I was missing huge chunks of history just in the world building. There was like a tiny little part where you do get like 6 sentences about the past, and I was like, that's not enough. That's not enough at all, because there's like terminology like mech, blue blood, Vern Wolf, and things like that. And because of I've read other paranormal books, and because I've read other steampunk books, I knew what the author was talking about, and I was kind of bummed by that, because I kind of think, like, when I read a book, for me, that author is creating a whole new universe. And if books are in that universe, cool. Like, kind of like comic books, you know what I mean? So, like, I shouldn't rely on books from different authors that happen to be in the same genre to understand what you're talking about. You know what I mean? So, like, I was like, okay, so is this kind of a universe where you have to start at one and you can't, like, you just will be lost if you don't? Because I thought this was the first one. But I felt like there was a huge amount of history from Ingrid and Caleb that was not on the book. They kind of quickly go through it, sort of like this rival, not quite enemies, but rivals to lovers type thing. So Caleb's part of the Nighthawks, and he's a blue blood, and I guess that means this world's kind of vampires, and I guess she's this world's version of werewolves. And there's like a craving disease that not really explained why that's a bad thing and what that means, except blue bloods get paler and paler. Like, I just felt completely lost, and that is not a usual feeling for me when I'm reading a book. In real life, all the time. Reading a book, no. So that was a little, And then Caleb, I guess he was supposed to be like the charming, rankish James Bond secret agent type. I found him obnoxious and really arrogant. Like, he had a right to bed Ingrid whether she liked it or not. And I'm like, whoa, no. And they had this whole, like, this past thing where they were supposed to they're both hunting this person, and he turned into a competition, and she won, and she tied him to the bed naked and wrote something on him and left him there. And I was like, these are adults, right? I was like, these are people I'm assuming he's in his mid-30s and she's kind of like late 20s, early 30s, right? Because like that seems like kind of frat house humor, you know what I mean? Something that you think is really funny when you're completely wasted, you know? And she's like, oh, I can't let myself fall, because they're completely in lust with each other. She's like, I can't let myself do that because I don't trust him. Well, yeah, because he's a dick. And like in the first couple pages, you know, he admits he likes to chase more than anything. Like, I didn't like any of them. I was supposed to care about Ingrid's like mysterious past. I did not care because it wasn't like she was annoying too. Like, and I can't even really pinpoint how she was annoying. It was just more like she had this kind of like I know everything kind of vibe to her, and I was like, what are you trying to portray for the writer? I was really confused. I was really confused, and I really wanted to love it because I love mystery, love steampunk, love paranormal, love romance. And at one point I was like, is this even a romance novel? But it literally has it in the subtitle that it's a romance. So I was like, I'm done. I'm done. Did you like my dumbfounded face and noise? I was like, I'm done. I can't force myself to read another 400 and something pages of this. This sucks. I'm so disappointed. I was really looking forward to this steampunk, but it's a steampunk DNF, blah. And it's disappointing. It really is, because I really was looking forward to it, but it was so confusing. And I mean, I get it if it's supposed to be like a huge series and this is just like in the middle or the first. I would understand being confused, like a first new batch. I would understand being confused, but even then, usually the writers kind of give you a little synopsis of what happened in the story, and yeah, it could be kind of obnoxious, but for something like this, I would have really liked it because I was super confused. And because I felt like I was dropped into this really confusing world without a roadmap, I didn't care about anybody, you know? And I thought it was like, it's book one. Like, I thought, it's book one. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't think I was jumping into a middle of a complex world, but I guess I did. And nothing really wrong with the writing style. It was really good writing style. It was fast-paced writing style. You didn't feel like you were slogged in. It's just, I didn't get what was going on, and unfortunately, I didn't care about Caleb and Ingrid, and I don't care if they got together or not. And if they did get together and they were like real people in the world, I'll be like, bro, this romance is toxic as hell. Please don't. So, it's a DNF. Unfortunate. I was super bummed. If you guys know like a new FM historical romance novelist that I haven't checked out, please let me know because I would love to. I really want to, you know what I mean? I want more than Joanna Lindsay and Lisa Kleypas. I haven't really found one that I like as much as them. Maybe I'm just a choosy bitch. Maybe I am. I don't know. Anyway, so the next one would be Ghost Cop. So this is P.S. I Spook You by s.e.harmon. This is MM Contemporary Paranormal. And again, no, this is with, okay, Rain and Danny. So this, I assume, is Rain. Yeah, he has hippie, his full name is Rainstorm. He has hippie parents and a twin sister. It's kind of a fun little tidbit. He is with the FBI profiling unit in the beginning. And you find out very quickly that he sees ghosts. And I really liked how this author did it because it wasn't immediate like, oh yes, I'm a medium, that's how we deal with things. He's like, I have to pretend I'm not insane because there's no way I'm actually seeing ghosts. Because he, even though he has a hippie background, like his families are all very, like, pretty adorable, but very hippie, off the grid, anti-government kind of people, he doesn't believe in that stuff. He's very rational, and I think the author did a great job of showing like how he's very right side of the brain, very, you know, STEM heavy thought process. Like he likes facts and figures, and the fact that he sees ghosts is like no. This is a 4-star, even though I really liked it. I love the ending, both for the crime wise and the romance wise. It's not my favorite for this kind of romance in that the two romantic leads have broken up already. Like they were together and they broke up. Because I just like, it gets me. And sometimes the writer doesn't, for me, doesn't do a good job of like heart wrenching. Like, oh, you want them together so bad, you want them together so bad. This author does a really good job. Like you feel, I felt the heartbreak from the get out with this one. I was like, oh, I hope they get together. Oh no. And you don't get Danny's POV, and he is a cop and it takes place in Florida, and they were together. Rain, like they broke up, and then Rain has to come back for a case to prove he's not insane, but lo and behold, he does see ghosts. And this is him coming to grips with, like, I'm not crazy, this is really happening, this is who I am, and trying to sort out his feelings for Danny. And the thing is, you don't get Danny's POV. So, like, how I am, I'm rooting for Rain Storm the whole time, and I'm like, you're being too hard on Rain, how dare you? But I would have loved Danny's POV just to kind of get his emotions, what's going on with the breakup, and like if he did want to get together, if he didn't, because it's real, like, you know what I mean, for like the whole book you don't know what's gonna happen romance wise. I really liked the mystery, and these are cold case files, so I thought that was really interesting. It wasn't like fresh murders. This happened whiles ago. I did for me personally, probably because I read a lot of romance mysteries, I watch a lot of mystery shows. I did figure out who the killer was pretty early on, I think maybe mid-book. But that's just because of me. I still enjoyed the process of seeing how he gets the proof, and also how he deals with his hippie family and his hippie twin sister, and deals with what he realizes what he really wants as terms of like home and what he thinks home is, and coming to grips with not being crazy, and like still having like being around someone that they broke each other's hearts, being all like, it was really, really good. It was really good. So I'm happy I found another writer. This writer I think is primarily MM. So again, looking for FM writers, but I am gonna check out this series. Oh, I'm sorry. That's right. I Spook You, the Spectral Files book 1, because it's like I forgot to mention that. Sorry, I'll write it down below definitely. So that was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that. I don't know if I've been like on like a spooky kind of kick lately. I'm always up for a good murder novel. Always got for a good. You know what I mean. Okay, so the third one is an MM contemporary paranormal. This one's a short one. I think it's about 100 pages, and this is an author we know and love on this channel, Jordan L. Hawk, and this is, I think, I really tried to find the first book they published on Kindle, and I think this is it. If I'm not, I apologize, but I want to see like the etymology of the writer evolving, because I'm a nerd. I think that's cool. So this is like their first thing on Kindle, I believe. Couldn't find anything else. Before this, The Hunter of Demons, Spectr Series 1, Book 1. So this is with Caleb and John. So a lot of Caleb's this week. Yes. Again, I really like the cover. Yeah. So I'm gonna, because there's a lot of Caleb's. It's like 2 Caleb's this week. So let me just make sure I got like... Okay, yes. Okay. So, my notebook. So, for this to be such a short book, and for me to be dropped into this completely different paranormal, how they deal with magical people, or people who have magic and ghosts and all that things, and demons and angels, such a fantastic job. I was actually, because again, this is like the first published book I found on Kindle from this author. I was actually surprised how amazing this was for their first book. You know what I mean? You don't feel like it's a short story. You don't feel like you're slogging through a bunch of verbal diarrhea lore, or, diarrhea lore. It is fantastic. It is wonderfully paced. Caleb is a Mal, and that is a really derogatory term for someone who's magical. And John works for sort of like the magical cops. Like he has magic. He's an exorcist, like the best in their sector, and he gets pulled in because Caleb, trying to avenge someone he loves, gets accidentally possessed by Gray. Now this is a 4-star for me because, and Venom like because Gray and Caleb, like Gray is in Caleb, and they kind of share the body and they go to an understanding. It's like a read it. It's fantastic. I didn't particularly like it because it feels like it's almost like a throuple thing, and that's not really my thing. Um, yeah, so that's the only thing that I didn't like about it, and that's it. And this is fantastic, and it really showcased. Maybe I shouldn't have read this before I read the steampunk one because it really showcased how you could drop someone into this complicated world you created, but like seamlessly flow in the universe around them without making it feel like, ugh, what am I sitting in a lecture? You know what I mean? It was really fantastically well done. And I kind of want to continue on the Spectral series. I just want to see where it goes with it. Again, it's sort of throupley, considering Gray is in Caleb, and Gray is a great character too. All three of the characters very interesting, very different personalities, very dynamic. It's interesting. Again, thruple's not my thing, so we'll see. It might just always be a 4-star for me because it seems like that's the route it's going. I could be wrong, but I'm probably gonna read more. Sprinkled out because I do love seeing how authors like evolved and how they come about with their styles and things like that because I am a giant nerd. So that's it for this week. Like, comment, subscribe. I don't want to, but I gotta get back to the real world. See you later. Bye.